Hey everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me this summer day. This is the Sun Devil Learning Lab. This is 5th grade ELA, and I'm Mrs. Wilson. This is our last 2 days that you'll be with me this summer. I've had a great summer. I really enjoyed doing this and learning about this because I'll be teaching 5th grade next year. So I had a lot of fun. This was great. So let's get started. Things you'll need today are your pencil, your ELA notebook, Esperanza Rising if you have it, no problem if you don't, and a clear workspace. So go ahead and pause your screen. Great. So a review from yesterday. So yesterday with me and Mrs. Mooney, we went over poem structure, and we focused on one poem, and it was our freestyle one. So your objective was I can describe the structure of a poem and create a poem independently, and that was a lot of fun. Like I got to do the lemon one, and Miss Mooney got to do it was the rocks, huh? And so I was anxious to see what you guys did. I mean, it's a bummer I don't get to see them, but I'm sure they were great. So yeah, so today we are going to do a book review on Esperanza Rising. So we're all done. We finished this book. We've been working on it a lot this summer and really just stripping down the chapters and really diving in and really learning about these things and using all the skills that we've been using in Esperanza. So book reviews are fun. So today your objective is I can write and understand a book review on Esperanza Rising. So it'll be lots of fun. We'll get to use our skills, and like I keep saying, these are things that you will use in the future, boys and girls. I am using them as an adult, especially with class and stuff, so it's definitely useful. But first, we're going to play a game. I think we played this maybe at the beginning of the summer. I'm not sure what am I, and I think we did it a little bit different. So today I'm going to give you guys some clues, some times to guess, and then we have special guests. And I was just going to have one, and they didn't come, so I ended up having to use 2 other ones. So I'm going to go ahead and get them, and then we'll play our game. So how we're going to play a game is I'm going to give some clues, and I want you at home to try to guess too, and I'm going to have my 2 guests try to guess what I'm talking about. Okay? Let me pause my screen if I can find it. All right, we're back. These are my guests. So if you guys remember, Adrian was in our videos not too long ago. He's joined us with his friend Chris. Now, you guys might not be able to tell, but these boys are really big. They're very, very tall. So Adrian, go ahead and stand up. Adrian is about 5'9", maybe 5'10", but look how tall his friend is. His friend is like, ooh, we lost him. His friend is what,
6'7".
6'7", and these boys and girls are an 8th grader and a freshman this year. So we're going to see if they could play a 5th grade game. So I'm going to give them clues, and they're going to try to guess what it is. So our first clue is, this is the item I talk about. So this can hold things. So something you can hold. You can drink from it.
Yeah.
I come in all sorts of different colors, and I can hold hot and cold liquids. What am I?
Things like you put on a cup. Or
Things you put on a cup, or can you put a drink in it? What do you think it is? It's something in this room. The clues are in this room.
Cup. Starbucks cup.
Bing, 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 cup. Good job. See, that wasn't so hard. All right, and our next one, let me move myself. You can print things on me. I am traditionally white. You can write on me. And you can draw pictures on me.
Paper.
What kind of paper?
Copy paper.
Yes, copy paper, or you can call it printer paper. It's a special paper that you put in printers, and you can print stuff on it, or you can draw on it. My kids steal it all the time trying to draw things on it. So good job, guys. All right, are you guys guessing those at home? Are you guessing the same things? They're doing great. Okay, here's our third item. I start off as a liquid, and then I turn into a solid. I make things cold, and I can be used to help reduce swelling.
Ice.
Ding, ding, ding. Nice, my friend. I love ice. Sorry. Okay, this one might be hard. You guys might not be able to get this one. So I'm a circle. I hold hair together. I stretch, and I get lost quite often.
A wig stand?
A what?
Wig, like stands you put wig
Oh, a
on.
stand you put a wig on? What do you think it is? So I'm a circle. I hold hair together. I stretch.
Hair band thing.
Hair band thing? A hair tie. We
Hair
grab
tie.
that, Adrian? Yeah, it's a hair tie. He's going to grab it. Good job. Did you guys guess those at home? So sometimes when you get hurt, you can use ice on it, and sometimes it helps reduce the swelling. And then this is a hair tie. We've talked about this before. It was in our surprise bag. But I want you guys to give these guys a clap. They did great. Thank you for joining us, Adrian and Chris. Well, that was fun. It was fun putting those teenagers to work. They've been having fun this summer doing like Nerf gun fights and swimming and riding their bikes. They've been really busy this summer and doing yard work. They've been cutting weeds for people and earning their own money to buy all these Nerf guns that they've been doing. But I appreciate their help. That was fun. All right. So first, because we're all done with the book, we're going to go over the summary. So I got this offline. And so it's just a real quick summary of the book and kind of the history of the book. The book was by Pam Munoz Ryan. So Esperanza Rising is a historical fictional novel by American writer named Pam Munoz Ryan. So it was published in 2000. So maybe some of you weren't even born yet. I was a junior in high school when this book came out. So the setting is in Mexico and California during the Great Depression. Now you talked a lot about like that stuff with Mrs. Mooney. The story follows Esperanza Ortega, who at the opening of the novel is a wealthy a girl living in a mansion with her lovely family. Remember that? And then Esperanza's father had some of his men are killed by bandits, throwing Esperanza's life into a chaos. Now, chaos just meant it was crazy, right? We went over it a lot, and there was lots of ups and downs, and it was just a rough time for Esperanza, right? So due to the loophole in her father's will, which those crooked uncles really found a way to get that land, the family's property would go to the family stepbrother, Luis Ortega, whom Esperanza calls Theo Luis. So Theo Luis is implicated in the murders, though not charged, and tries to manipulate Esperanza's mother Ramona into marrying him. So Ramona and Esperanza escaped to America with their loyal servants, Miguel and Hortensia and their dad, leaving behind Esperanza Abuelita because she's injured and she goes with the nuns, remember? And then Ramona and Esperanza then try to make a life in a poor Mexican labor camp in Arvin, California, while wanting to reunite with Abuelita. And we know the rest. There's so much more that we could summarize on this story, you know, how it ended and how the mama got sick. So they definitely went through some chaos and some crazy, crazy times for sure. Very interesting book with all the strikes and all the things that were happening in the book. And Esperanza really rose up to the occasion and definitely learned and had to relearn some things and became really independent and strong and ultimately free in America. So we are going to goodreads.com and it's a book review. And we'll get to do our own. So I went ahead and I Googled, hold on. So this is goodreads.com and you can look up any book on here and find a good review. Now these are where kids like you can do a review on a book, or even adults if somebody read a book and they really want to do a review on it. And so this is you before you read a book to see if you want to read it or not, or see what other people's opinions are not. So we're going to do a book review on Esperanza Rising. So you go ahead and type it in, and as you can see, the little title thing popped up. And we know it's by Pam Munoz Ryan. So this takes you to the page, and I know Miss Mooney really broke a lot of these things, and we want to pay attention to the stars because this book has a 3.98 stars. So it's not full 5 stars, it's not a full 4 stars, but it's still a pretty decent, good book. And there is 69,000 ratings, and it's 6,000 up to 6,500 reviews on it. So you can get a copy here. You can buy it here if you wanted to. If you wanted to read it here, you can rate this book yourself. And I think it's great. So I would give it 5 stars. So we can go ahead and click right here and find out what other people rate it and why. So we can even start our own rating. This girl said, I finished this book with my class today. Couldn't read the last sentence because I cried. The kids cried too. That hasn't happened to me before. Read it aloud. Great story. So she gave this book 5 stars. And then this girl that gave it 5 stars. So they're showing, looks like they're showing all the big story or numbers at first. And then we can also, if we wanted to, we can click on some other ones and find out how they review. So let's look at another one. So I read and lesson planned this book with a student I taught Spanish in the 7th and 8th graders. Any review I write will not do the book justice because it's been a long time and deserves a reread. Definitely a great learning tool and a historical novel to read middle school students. So we'll just scroll down. Jenny rated it 4 stars, and she says it's an inspiring story of struggle, hardship, and hope. Esperanza Rising gave me children much to discuss, like us. We had lots of stuff to read this summer. Set in the early 1930s, the book gives you a feel for the struggles of the Great Depression, and as well as the California history filled with Spanish phrases and words. It's a great introduction to learning Spanish and shows many cultural aspects as well. This book is rich with ideas for great discussions on empathy, economics, labor unions, race relation, prejudice, rights, family choices, hope, attitude, work, pride, and kindness. Make sure you keep tissues by you as you read. I don't usually cry when reading, but this book brought me to tears to the surface again and again, making it difficult to read out loud to kids. It's a sweet book about hard work, love, and hope. Thank you, Jenny. So let's see why some people gave it a low star. So this girl only gave it 3. She's all, why I quite enjoyed this historical information and detailed descriptions of both Esperanza from her original life in Mexico and as a member of the ruling of the powerful classes as rich and rather than spoiled, cherished daughter and prominent and socially, financially connected gentleman fruit rancher used to generally getting her own way and having to fleet of servants as her beck and call. And later, after her father's tragic death, and well, she just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. In her own opinion, she cannot really say that have found that Esperanza Rising all the personally and emotionally satisfying and pleasurable reading experience. So she didn't quite like it, and that's okay. That's her opinion. That's why she gave it 3. Oh, this person gave 1 star. She says, I wanted to like this book, but I struggle with liking the characters. There was not one character I really cared about. I found I cared more about the roses they were transplanting than the people who were transplanted. I did like the growth they saw in Esperanza. This story was too dictated. Munoz didn't trust her reader enough to figure out what was right. She felt she had to tell them. She also had too many plot lines going to seem to go nowhere. So she just didn't like it, and that's okay. And as you can see, if under here it says young adult. So these are kind of like the genre. So this is a novel. I don't know. There's so many more. So if I were to do one, I would give it a 5-star rating. And you guys can even, I'll put the link on later on the thing so you guys can go on and give it your own. But we're going to do a rough draft at first. So we can go to the thick set, so sort by order. So we can do oldest to newest, or we can do like, we want to just look at the 3 stars, if we want to look at just the 5 stars. But as you can tell, there is 25,000 people that gave it a 5 stars. And then there was 24 that gave it 4, 14 that gave it 3, only 3,700 gave it 2, and only about 1,000 people gave it 1. So on the big spectrum, there was more good stars than there was bad. So there's more people that like this book than don't. And that's probably why it's a favorite among teachers and stuff. And that's why they probably teach it in 5th grade. You guys probably will get advancement on, because you might have to read it later, who knows, but super fun. So this is a good website that I just found out myself. I didn't even know they had this. So this is great to know when you just want to really look up a book, and maybe you just want to find out people's opinions first before you read it. It's very great. So I love this. This was neat. So to move on in our lesson, so we found out what a book review is online. There is a way you can do it in person. So this is your turn. So you're going to do your own book review. So you're going to write who it's by, and we already know who it's by. It's by Pam Munoz Ryan. Then you're going to write the book title, which is Esperanza's Rising. You're going to do the author. Now, genre I talked about a little bit. This is like a young novel or like a young teen type of novel. Now, you guys get to rate the book your own. Now, you are allowed to have your own rating. It is whatever you think, because this review is your opinion. Now, what do you guys think opinion is? It is something that is what your own thoughts are, outside of what everybody thinks is your own opinion. And as we learn, like our backgrounds and the ways we're raised and our own characters, our opinions will be different from other people's. And as you can tell, a lot of people had a lot of different ideas about Esperanza Rising. Now, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So write a good summary the best you can. I know there's not a lot of room there, but see how that one that I read was very short. It didn't give like a bunch of detail. But if you like, you can do that as well. But just a short summary, at least 4 sentences, complete sentences with correct grammar and punctuation, and really try to spell the words right. And if you have to rewrite it, that's fine. Then I want you to opinion, and that's right. Like I've been talking about, it's what you think. This is your opinion, okay? So it could be whatever you thought the book was. If you loved it, right? If you hate it, that's fine. Whatever you think. That's why you start the sentence out with, I think. And then a recommendation. I don't know if you guys ever had to do, you can do reviews on restaurants and places that you eat in. There, a lot of people, especially like Amazon, when you're buying on Amazon, they want you to give a review because they want people to give good reviews so that people will buy their items. So this is your recommendation, right? This is saying, letting people know, I would recommend this book to, who would you recommend it to? Would you recommend it to? So you could say, I would recommend this book to no one because blah, blah, blah. Or I would recommend this book to blah, 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 because this is your recommendation. Like, hey, this is a great book. You should read it. I recommend it, you know. So this is great. So go ahead and pause the screen. And if you need to fill this out in your book, if you have to write these down in your own little book, go ahead. Take your time, and there's no right or wrong reason, right? Okay, so our book review. So we knew who it was by. It was by Pam Munoz Writing. The title was Esperanza Writing. Now, this was my book review. Okay, you guys did your own. This was mine, so I'm just kind of sharing mine with you. And I wrote that the genre was a novel, and I gave it 5 stars because I really enjoyed the book. So because I didn't have enough room, I just kind of gave you an idea of a summary. You can say it was about a girl, Esperanza, that went through some trials. And then you can add some more sentences because I offered, you know, at least 4 to get you started. And I could just kind of give a brief summary, 1 to 2 sentences about all the chapters, or just like one big one, like the example I gave you at the beginning. So in the opinion, I said, in my opinion, it was a good book, but it was sad. or I could say, but it was sad, or but sad, or, they was just my opinion. I think it was a good book because, or I think that was the starter sentence. Yeah. I think it was good because, in my opinion, I think it was good because, and then the recommendation, I would recommend this book because I thought it was great. I thought it had a really good storyline. I definitely connected with some of the characters, and I really wanted to see how it ended. And I just really enjoyed this book, and I really hope that you guys did too. So there you have it, boys and girls. Our exit ticket for today is um, do a book review on your favorite book. It was supposed to say A instead of I. So sorry about that. It is the last week, and Miss Wilson definitely misspelled that. But do find your favorite book and do a book review on it. And do, if just get some practice on it. If you go check out that website, I'll link it in the paper that it comes with. Check it out. Do a book review or look up other book reviews. Say, hey, I saw this book and I really want to check it out. I want to do a book review on it. Then it's great. But meanwhile, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our last day together. I'm kind of bittersweet about it. I'm kind of sad to see it go. I've really enjoyed this summer, and you guys have a great day.